Since its invention in 1826, for hundreds of years, photography has been used as a way to capture a moment in time, a memory of a past event, of family, or another special moment. But some pictures taken have captured more than they intended. The following images I'm about to show you were all taken by regular people who captured some extraordinary things. Things that are hard to explain, things that perhaps should not exist. And in case you're wondering, the vast majority of these photos were taken decades before the invention of Photoshop, or for that matter, before the first computer. The rest were phenomena that were observed and validated by hundreds or even thousands of others. But it's up to you to determine what you make of them. So, without further ado, here are 10 mysterious photos that should not exist. Number 1 are the Phoenix Lights. On March 13th, 1997, two distinct events occurred over Phoenix, Arizona and Sonora, Mexico that were seen by thousands. Two separate light formations formed in the sky. One, a triangle that was created by three separate lights which slowly passed over the state, and the other, a line of stationary lights. Now normally, lights in the night sky are not a cause for alarm, except that stars disappeared and then reappeared behind the dark mass in the sky. Because of the outcry from the public, the US Air Force was actually forced to respond and explain that these events were simply flares and training exercises. But perhaps most interestingly, the governor of Arizona at the time, Fief Symington, mocked the idea of the lights being of alien origin, except that several years later he admitted that he saw the lights and said that he believes that they are otherworldly. Number 2 is the ghost baby. In Queensland, Australia, in 1945, a mother named Miss Andrews went to visit the grave of her late daughter and decided to take a photograph of the gravestone. Upon developing the image, she noticed the ghostly image of a young child staring right back at the camera. Now, Miss Andrews didn't recognize the child as her own daughter because her daughter died at the age of 17, much older than the apparent age of the infant. However, perhaps what is most chilling about this is that a paranormal researcher went to that very grave to find a possible explanation for the picture and found a nearby grave dedicated to two infant children. To this day, there is still no explanation as to the apparent apparition in the image. Number 3 is the specter of Newby Church. In 1963, Reverend K.F. Lord took numerous pictures inside of a church in North Yorkshire. Upon examination, one photograph appeared to have an artifact. Now, photography at the time was not perfect, so many pictures often had artifacts. However, this artifact appeared to resemble a human. The image appears to show a hooded person standing right in front of the altar. While many experts have tried to determine whether or not this is double exposure, most speculation has concluded that it resembles a 16th century monk with a white shroud over his face, possibly to mask leprosy or another disfigurement. And even more strangely is that in relation to the nearest furniture, the figure would measure nearly 2.7 meters tall, clearly not something of this world. Number 4 is the Hampton Court Ghost. For nearly 200 years, a ghost has been rumored to have haunted the corridors of the Hampton Court Palace in London. However, over that time, nobody has been able to capture and picture the alleged form, until now. In 2003, emergency doors in the Hampton Court Palace were mysteriously opened 3 days in a row. On the first and third day, cameras captured what appeared to be the doors opening by themselves. However, on the second day, they captured something entirely different, a ghostly figure believed to be Dame Sybil Penn. She was a servant at Hampton Court to 4 Tudor monarchs and the nurse of Prince Edward and Elizabeth I until she died of smallpox in 1562. Hampton Court, home of Henry VIII and many other royalty, has long been famed for its ghosts, but this was the first time that an image of one has been captured in hundreds of years. Number 5 is the Hook Island sea monster. In 1964 in Australia, French photographer Robert Surek was spending time with his family boating off of the coast of Stonehaven Bay. Suddenly, Surek's wife noticed a large tadpole-like creature under the water. This is the picture of the 24-meter-long creature which, according to him, appeared to have a wound on its back. Almost as if knowing that the creature was having its picture taken, it swam away with blazing speed, never to be seen again. Number 6 is the Naga Lights. This picture is of of Thailand's Mekong River. The phenomena shown are known as the mysterious Naga lights, basketball-sized balls of fire that shoot from the surface of water hundreds of meters into the sky and then vanish. Their occurrence is of no debate as they have been photographed and witnessed by tens of thousands of people over the years. However, what is mysterious about them is why they occur, which currently has no scientific explanation. Now, some theories suggest phosphine gas or free-floating plasma orbs similar to those in plasma physics, or some other naturally occurring event, but to this day still nobody has an explanation for them. Number 7 is Freddie Jackson's ghost. This picture is from 1919 of the crew of the HMS Daedalus during World War I at their training facility. It was a somber day as just 2 days prior, a member of their team, air mechanic Freddie Jackson, had died accidentally by an airplane propeller, and his funeral was earlier the same day that this photo was taken. But once it was developed, however, something very odd was immediately noticed. There was an extra face among the men, a face that the men recognized. The face of air mechanic Freddie Jackson. Remember that this photo is from almost 100 years ago, and most versions online are cropped and altered in some way, but what you are looking at right now is the original unaltered scan of the original photo. As you can see, there's Freddie in the back row smiling, as if unaware that his own death had taken place just 2 days prior. Number 8 is the McMinnville UFO. This photo is often considered among the most famous UFO photos ever taken. Known as the McMinnville UFO photograph, it was taken on a farm near McMinnville, Oregon in the United States in 1950. That same year, Life magazine, along with several newspapers, reprinted the photo, which many ufologists consider to be genuine. The photograph shows what looks to be a tilted underside of a UFO flying through the sky. Now, skeptics suggest that it could be a possible speck on the lens, as cameras back in those days weren't quite as HD as they are now. But to this day, nobody knows for sure what this image means, or what it's of. Number 9 is the SS Watertown ghosts. In 1924, 2 men working aboard the SS Watertown oil tanker, James McCourtney and Michael Meehan, were both accidentally killed by a gas leak during travel at sea. Soon after, the men were given a respectful burial at sea. But the other crew members began noticing something mysterious as they were conducting their duties. In the days to follow, crew members swore that they saw the faces of the 2 men in the waves. In response to this, the captain took a series of 5 photos, 4 showing nothing unusual, until the 5th, which showed this, what appears to be the faces of James Courtney and Michael Meehan. To this day, neither the crew, the captain, nor anyone else aboard have any idea or explanation for what the apparitions appear to be. And number 10 is the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. In 1936, a professional photographer working for Country Life magazine took pictures within the Raynham Hall in Norfolk, England. In one such picture, he managed to capture this ghostly image of a woman on the stairs. What's eerie is that just a year earlier in 1935, reports from guests staying in that hall claimed to have seen a ghostly figure floating through the corridors with her eyes gouged out, wearing a brown dress. Immediately, those who worked there realized that this picture matched the description given. It's believed that the apparent apparition is of Lady Dorothy Walpole, the sister of Robert Walpole, generally regarded as the first Prime Minister of Great Britain. Before her death, she was trapped there, locked away in the hall as punishment for adultery until she died painfully by herself from smallpox. Once again, another photograph with no explanation from anyone involved. So, those were 10 mysterious photographs that likely should not exist. But I want to know from you in the comments, do these photos have a reasonable explanation, or should they simply not exist? I also want to give a big thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. They have an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original shows, and more for nearly all devices like iPhones, Androids, iPads, tablets, etc. Audiobooks are truly the perfect way to pass the time, especially when you're doing something time-consuming like traveling or simply doing chores around the house. And Audible is offering a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial to give you a chance to try out their service if you use the link in the description. Audible.com/Matthew. Lately, I've been listening to The Book of Mysteries by John Kahn, and I can tell you it's very thought-provoking, so I recommend that you check it out. So go get that or another audiobook for free along with a 30-day free trial at audible.com/Matthew right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and just a reminder, if you are subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the little notification bell beside the subscribe button to enable notifications so that you can be alerted when I upload my next video. And that's it. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Peace.